back to round 12 of the NPL Women's New South Wales competition, coming to you live here from the Village Green with a uni derby in your match of the round. I'm Annabelle Banfield. Pleasure to bring you this NPL New South Wales Women's match of the round a bit earlier than you typically get in the week. A midday kickoff that hasn't quite kicked off at midday, but nonetheless, they're keeping us on our toes, waiting for what should be a spectacular game here between two sides right up the top of the competition. For UNSW, still undefeated in 2026, and after a massive win midweek in the Sapphire Cup, they'll be looking to continue that momentum. Meanwhile, Sydney Uni, they were spoilers last week when they entered the Western Sydney Wanderers' undefeated run. Can they do it again today when they take on ladder-leading UNSW? All to play for in this rivalry between the two university sides in the competition. Should be a cracking game. We'll get you started with the lineups for the home side in their classic yellow strip today. They start with number 1, Erin Naylor, 5, Leah Puxty, 6, Aya Yamahata, 7, Poppy Channing, 8, Demi Koulazakis, 9, Lexi Moreno, 10, Chloe Smith, 17, Angelique Christodoulou, 18, Georgia Plessis, 21, Jennifer Kokoris, and 32, Bianca Galich. And on the bench, 11, Ava Collins, 13, Sonali Singh, 14, Leah Burton, 15, Abby Lemon, 16, Sky Kasachia, 24, Milan Hammond, and 99, Dimitra Weiss. And Sydney University... Might be a record high for a number on the shirt in an NPL New South Wales women's game, but nonetheless, that's what the second goalkeeper has on her back today. So, exciting matchup. Both these teams high flying. Obviously, UNSW leading the way, undefeated, on top of the ladder. They've won 9 and drawn 2. As for the Sydney Uni, they've really climbed this season. They had a mediocre 2025, but this year have been shining with new head coach Xavier Taylor and a young group that is just finding their way right up top of the competition. They are currently in 5th place. It'll be a test. Got to make sure I don't just call one team Uni. It's Sydney Uni versus UNSW here today, and it will be the visitors kicking things off with a star on the rise. Poppy Tay's had a cracker start to the year. Is a big part of why her side are going so well. Scoring goals left and right. And was the striker of the month for April across the league. They're under pressure here early, though, the visitors, and UNSW win it back in a good area. They've got to throw in here with Puxty. It's gone wide. To Kokoris facing off against her former side. Gets it back to the captain, Christodoulou. Now Koulazakis. Galich Koulazakis slips as she kicks the ball and sends it up into the sky. So a couple changes for both sides. Sydney Uni after a 3-0 win last week against the Wanderers. Kiara Benora, unfortunately, with an injury that will keep her out for the rest of the year. Not 100% sure what that is, but she's wandering around the Village Green here in with crutches and a boot. So an unlucky break for Kiara there. And Scarlett Gray, the goalkeeper, is also out of this matchup. Into the lineup comes Maddie Caspers and Chelsea Hromek. And for UNSW, after their Thursday night win over Apia Leichhardt, Ava Collins and Sky Kasachia dropped to the bench. Into the lineup, Georgia Plessis and Jennifer Kokoris. They've been forced well back here, UNSW. It's all the way back with Naylor. Her ball gets to Smith, the hero from the Sapphire Cup. Just before halftime, she was able to find the goal that was the deciding factor in that game. Now UNSW with a corner early. A strong run from Kokoris, and Juric had to make the tackle, but gives up this set piece. Ball's delivered. Kulizakis goes to ground. It gets back to Yamahata, and a handball on the edge of the box. So a bit chaotic there for UNSW, not the outcome they would have liked. Sydney Uni can breathe a sigh of relief. Takes a bounce, gets to Tay. Cruises up the field. And eventually into Naylor, the former Bayern Munich star. That was her club before UNSW. So crazy to think that she's now playing in our state league. Very lucky to have a player of her quality. Now Sutton goes to ground. No fouls given by referee Alana Zick. Sutton stays in. Still going. Tackles made by Channing. And she wins the throw too. Moreno going over the top towards Smith, but Sandbrook gets there first. Turns and plays to Rod. Van Dyke gets around one, but can't beat Galich. Kirby to Juric. Down the line, a clever turn from Sutton, but it just rolls a little too far to the left and out over the sideline. Down the line from Kirby. It's back with the captain now. And that ball will just be a little too far in front of Tay. So both teams taking advantage of the transfer window, bringing in a couple of A-League talents. For Sydney Uni, Maddie Caspers is out there in the starting lineup. Meanwhile, UNSW, they've got Abby Lemon on the bench. Caspers and Lemon, Sydney FC teammates, and it's pretty crazy that this UNSW lineup so star-studded that even a A-League women's player isn't immediately in the starting lineup. She's got to take her bench minutes and force her way in. Channing, who's on the ball there, a train-on player with Sydney FC. heading into their last campaign. Neither team able to truly settle this ball down. It's come out to Tay. Poppy Tay trying to get inside Yamahata. The ball skips past Caspers. Tough angle now, but Caspers forces a corner. Chance being started up by Sydney Uni's own Alice Thompson. And normally it would be quite obvious who she's going for, but when you're playing against another university. Meanwhile, Erin Naylor is down. I think there's an issue with the turf. A piece of the ground might be coming up. Or the net. There's no injury for Naylor. She was down inspecting something. Play won't resume with the ref standing there. I think there's something wrong at the post. Not sure if it's an issue with the net, with the ground. I think perhaps the net's come loose. Bit tricky to see, but something is holding up play here at the Village Green. Inside the opening 10 minutes, still 0-0 between the two universities. And whatever the issue was has now been fixed, and play will get back underway with a corner. Sutton delivers, curling to effort towards the back post, off the crossbar, and bundled in by Tay. And Sydney Uni strike early. It was a fantastically delivered ball from Asher Sutton. Well met by Sam Brook, off the crossbar from her. And then Tay bundles it over the line, and Sydney Uni are up. Now Erin Naylor is back on the ground. This time she is hurt. It's not an issue with the ground. It's an issue with the goalkeeper. And for Erin Naylor, as the ball got bundled into the goal, so did she. So a bit worse for wear for the former New Zealand international goalkeeper. It would be very unfortunate to have to turn to a replacement goalkeeper inside the opening 10 minutes, but Dimitra Vase is up and warming up on the sideline. Just 18 years old. Big task for her to step into goals. And Naylor back up on her feet. UNSW kicking off after going down 1-0 in your NPL New South Wales match of the round. Hughes, the header from Yamahata. Now it's with Puxty. And a very strong start for the visitors. Can they keep it up, or will it re-energize this UNSW outfit, who are undefeated in 2026. Plessis. Cross comes in. Takes a bounce from Hromek, but eventually she secures the ball. Couple of nervous gasps in the crowd there, but Sydney Uni hold on. Galich. Her ball doesn't make it to Kokoris. Clever touch from Sutton. Just 17 years old. Sutton is pulled down by Christodoulou. A very obvious shirt pull there and a warranted yellow card for the UNSW captain. It's quite early to be picking up a card, and Sutton had the absolute majestic delivery from the corner to get scoring going. She's got a free kick now. Can Asher Sutton produce another great ball? Crowding on the edge of the box. Sutton delivers. It's going to land on about the penalty spot. And another chance for Sydney Uni there. Almost put away. Yamahata for Channing now. Channing featured on the most recent edition of Football New South Wales Kickoff podcast, so make sure you tune in to future episodes of that monthly podcast. As Rod dispossesses Kokoris. Sydney Uni can't hold on though. Moreno now for Koulizakis. The switch of play. Wasn't a great pass. Ends up in sort of no man's land between Puxty and Plessis, and Kirby gets the touch. Van Dyke looking to secure the ball. Plessis with the tackle. Georgia Plessis winds up into Sambrook, who blocks the shot. Tay. Down the line, Caspers. To Sutton. Still with Asher Sutton. Urich has made the overlapping run. The left back, Xantha Urich with the cross. Dealt with by Yamahata. She'll get there. Urich with some strong physicality and now has a throw. Sutton. Sydney Uni awarded the throw in, much to the shock of Bianca Galich. Urich for Caspers. Struggling to find a way out of this left-hand side. Caspers delivers a pretty slow and unthreatening ball that ends up with Erin Naylor. Yamahata going long. Puxty will get there. Smith. Chloe Smith now for Kokoris. Moreno winding up from distance. And it wasn't quite far enough back. Lexi Moreno with too much on that shot. Harris. Strong tackle there from Smith. Strikers don't always get to pull off slide tackles like that. Good defending there from the centre forward. Hughes capitalises on a slow pass. Caspers will chase down this long ball. And she'll keep it in, Maddie Caspers. After Christodoulou had given up, then she megs the UNSW captain. Maddie Caspers delivers a ball in, trickles across the line and cleared by Yamahata. It's all happening here at the Village Green. An exciting series of play, and it's still with Sydney Uni. Not for long though. Plessis clears the ball, wants to reset her defense. But Sydney Uni, some real X factor, some creativity, and they're on top in the scoreboard. Could have been a second there. Van Dyke. Farad. Little ball over the top into the area, headed away by Christodoulou. And Van Dyke just controlling the middle of the park in the opening minutes. Switch of play, it's called for by Urich. Good delivery from Sandbrook. Now Sutton. Able to turn, winding up. Asher Sutton! And Sydney Uni, they desperately want a second, and they've come oh so close on a couple of occasions. How can UNSW respond? There's a tackle made there by Van Dyke. Ball's made its way to Tay. Cut back, Sutton! Epic save there, Erin Naylor. This game truly has it all. Another corner to come. We know what happened on the last corner for Sydney Uni. Can they replicate what produced the goal? Asher Sutton. Yamahata wins the header. Smith is on the ground on about the 6-yard line. Sutton delivers again. That time Sandbrook fell to ground, but she's quickly back up. And Chloe Smith will get a little bit of medical attention here. Might be just the breather that UNSW need. They've had to absorb a lot of pressure in these last few minutes. Sydney Uni well and truly on the attack and having the better start to this game. As I said, they were spoilers last week when they ended the Wanderers' undefeated start to the year. And so far, they're up 1-0 on the undefeated ladder-leading UNSW. So it's a real chance for Sydney Uni to prove that they are true contenders this year. Sitting just outside the top 4 at the moment. A young squad, really building under new coach Xavier Taylor. He'd worked with a lot of these girls before, as he led the under-23s to 2 consecutive championships. Now gets the nod to lead first grade, and they're really going well, this Sydney Uni side. Meanwhile, UNSW only promoted a couple of years ago, and now they are leading the NPL Women's New South Wales. So, 2 sides really building. Channing. Christodoulou caught flat-footed. Sandbrook for Van Dyke. Strong tackle made by Galich, and she's going from distance. Quite an ambitious effort. Channing. Kulizakis did well with Maddie Caspers bearing down on her. Now Puxty. Moreno spins away. Christodoulou coming inside, looking to find Plessis. They'll come again here. Raden Hughes with the 1-2. Hughes over the top. Slightly ahead of Kirby. And a very early substitution here. Chloe Smith unable to continue into the action is Ava Collins. So an unfortunate end to the day for Chloe Smith. Had an excellent evening on Thursday. Scored in the 43rd minute. What would be the only goal in UNSW's Sapphire Cup win over Apia. They're now through to the Sapphire Cup semi-finals, where they will take on Hills United after Hills won their quarterfinal, convincing 6-0 fashion over the SD Raiders. The only League One side to make it to the quarterfinals of Football New South Wales knockout competition. Puxty with a heavy touch, Kirby. Now Sandbrook. Rod forced to play backwards. Kirby does well to keep the ball in. It gets to Tay. Tay turns past Yamahata. Poppy Tay in open space. We know that's what she loves. On the edge of the box, Channing does well to hold up Tay. Tay spins, keeps the ball in. And the cross is dealt with by Naylor. Sapphire Cup quarterfinal action not over yet. Couple more to come midweek in the coming week. Kokoris now gets around Harris. Jennifer Kokoris across the face, and in the end not very close to the goal. So Tuesday night, it's the Illawarra Stingrays who will travel up to the Northern Tigers in the third of the quarterfinals. And then Wednesday, it's Manly United against the Western Sydney Wanderers. The winners of those two games will face off in the second of the two Sapphire Cup semi-finals. And it's Sydney Uni who had payback last week in the league. The Wanderers had knocked them out of the Sapphire Cup. They end up winning 3-0 for competition points. So just goes to show you, anyone on their day, especially in the top sort of two-thirds, top half of the ladder, can compete. We've seen a lot of surprising results based on ladder position. Sydney Uni being up 1-0 in this game is probably a little bit of a surprise, but they're certainly a quality side who can compete with the best. Ball's with Harris. She has time at the back. Going over the top. Channing read it well and retreated quickly. One of several new signings at UNSW this year who slotted in very well. She plays to goalkeeper Naylor, another one of those new signings making an impact here at the Village Green. Moreno with an uncharacteristic heavy touch. Van Dyke from distance and just slices across the ball. Ends up swerving quite a distance away from the goal. Playing it across the back line, Galich. Lining up as a bit of a left back. It's a real fluidity to this UNSW lineup. A lot of versatility in the squad. Plessis sitting in defensive midfield now, and it's Puxty playing as a winger. So that was the lineup all of 2 seconds ago could reshape and change once again. Moreno inside. Caspers with the interception. Galich, good piece of deception there, turns past Sutton. And UNSW forced to be quite patient, having to play it around the back as the Sydney University side proves difficult to break down. Puxty, little ball through for Collins. So UNSW now with Kiwis at top and bottom of the lineup. Collins at striker and Naylor in goals. Sutton with the flick on header. Ball pops out to Sutton once again. She's got pace and strength. She cuts inside. Christodoulou. Channing is across in cover. Caspers picks up the ball. And Sutton will see it out for a corner. She has been a real find for this Sydney Uni side. Just 17 years old. Coming through their junior ranks and youth ranks previous years and now making an impact on the first grade side. Sun's delivery. Sandbrook meets but can't steer goalward. Generates plenty of power with her head. Just the accuracy was lacking there for Talia Sandbrook. Channing for Koulizakis. As I said, very fluid. It's Koulizakis who looks to be a bit of a left back now. And to think, a couple of years ago she was the star striker leading the Golden Boot race for Sydney Olympic. Rad, strong tackle. Another UNSW throw to come. To Moreno. Turns out. Plays to Galich, the Croatian international. Back to Channing. Headed straight up in the air by Harris. It falls to Collins, and Ava Collins hits the post. A real chance there for UNSW. They can't put it away, and now sits Sydney Uni on the attack. Yamahata shuts that down quickly. Coming once again, the home side. Cross is delivered. And Plessis will have another go. Now for Galich. Harris, Urich. Christodoulou beats Sutton to the ball. Rod, the tackle was made on the ground by Kokoris. Moreno. Caspers scoops up a loose pass. Tay gets past Yamaha to Poppy Tay. Tackled by another Poppy, Channing. So the two Poppies taking each other on is proving to be a fierce matchup. Controlled on the chest of Collins. Rard just slightly ahead of Sutton there. And as we tick over the half-hour mark in this game, it's the visitors, Sydney University, up 1-0 on UNSW. Here come the home side. Ava Collins gets it to Christodoulou. Goes to ground. And a free kick to come. Lexi Moreno knows how to deliver a set piece. Can this level up the game for UNSW? Curling ball. Still in the area. Shot comes in from Plessis Hromek with strong hands. Going long. Backtracking UNSW defense gets there first. Sandbrook driving forward. Pass to Tay. Now for Kirby, the captain. Sizing up her options. The cross, not her best. And Urich and Sutton just not on the same page there. Struggling to find a way out of their back line. It's Van Dyke with the first touch on that long ball. But UNSW will pick up the second. Here they come through. Christodoulou slips over. The ground does have a bit of a funny colour about it. Quite orange in some places. And it's been on and off rain here this morning. Bit slippery. Perhaps not that great underfoot. A few players slipping over in the first half. Hughes. Sent flying there by Kokoris. Very much a legal challenge, but a strong one nonetheless. UNSW win it back in a dangerous area. Plessis. They've been struggling to put their shots on target. Of course, Collins hit the post earlier. That's the closest that UNSW have gone to a goal. Quite a few other shots just not hitting the mark. Kokoris is tackled by Urich. Caspers goes to ground. She's still down, Maddie Caspers. Play continues on the far side with Puxty. Back for Channing. Going to ground there is Puxty. I don't think a free kick was actually awarded. Play's been whistled dead so Puxty can get some medical attention, but I'm not sure how we will resume here at the Village Green. Under 10 minutes to go in the first half. No doubt there'll be some injury time after a couple of UNSW players have needed attention. And there was that peculiar issue with the goal area. But Sydney Uni using the opportunity to gather together. Good news, Puxty back up on her feet. It will be a free kick here for Lexi Moreno. Perfect opportunity here for UNSW. Delivered off the near post, still bouncing around in the box. Van Dyke with a decisive touch to clear it. But now they've hit that left upright on two separate occasions, UNSW. Caspers and Tay combining. Another pass between the pair. Tay looking to get inside Channing, but Poppy Channing has been very strong so far this afternoon. Ball for Collins. Promek off her line and beats the striker to the ball. It's an end-to-end affair. Both sides now getting plenty of chances. It's Sydney Uni up 1-0. Thanks to an early goal from Poppy Tay. Pace has dropped off this game. Slowly bringing the ball upfield are UNSW. Sutton capitalised on a loose touch from Kuluzakis and Asher Sutton. She's been forced wide, trying to cut in Sutton. Kuluzakis makes the tackle and Caspers. The save from Naylor. And after a couple of bounces, it's Naylor who dives on the ball. But Sydney University are really looking to pounce on the counter-attack. A loose touch, a loose pass in the UNSW defensive area, and they are off. Channing for Kokoris. Looking to turn and play Moreno. The ball does end up with Lexi Moreno. Not for long. Caspers has her shirt pulled. And Caspers is off and away. Advantage played. Ball's with Tay. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if play stopped there for that foul. Galich is protesting. I think Moreno is probably lucky that advantage got played because she could have had a yellow for her blatant shirt pull. But Sydney Uni from dead centre in front, probably about 15 metres off the box though, so quite a distance away from goal. The angle almost makes it tougher to deliver a ball. It's almost too close for a good delivery, too far for a shot. We'll see what Sutton can come up with. She goes for goal. Naylor makes up the ground quickly. Off the bounce, into her hands. Sutton applying pressure now. UNSW. Channing tries to find the pass forward. It's blocked. Casper's on the ball now. She's brought down by Channing. All legal. Play continues. Juric with the header. Then Van Dyke. It's gone straight up in the air. Van Dyke wins the header. Hughes has some time. Hughes winds up. Just left of the goal. And Naylor has pushed everyone forward. She wants the ball out of this area. The goalkeeper's probably a little bit sick of being involved in the play. Wants it going long. Lands with Moreno, well controlled. Heavy pressure surrounds the midfielder. It's popped back in the defensive area. Yamahata. Looking to find a way forward are UNSW. Going side to side at the moment, just creeping upfield. There's the ball to Collins. Now it's with Puxty. They're being forced wide. Struggling to find a way through this Sydney Uni team. Kokoris. The 1-2 doesn't come off. And Christodoulou rightly being sent back. Sydney Uni fans in the crowd think Christodoulou should have kept going. Back up the line. Nonetheless, play continues. UNSW won't get the free kick for a handball. They will have a throw in. As this first half ticks down, it's UNSW on the hunt for an equaliser after Sydney Uni went 1-0 up. A goal from Poppy Tay early on in the half. And both teams have come close since then. There's been posts and crossbars and some pretty miraculous saves. So a very exciting match of the round. Channing hits Sutton's shoulder. The ball was aimed towards Galich. Naylor switching that point of attack on the left now with Koulizakis. And Puxty. Coming off a little bit worse for wear, a little bit of contact as she received the ball. Looks to be good now. Sydney Uni absorbing a lot of pressure here. Keeping UNSW in their own half. Until now, the ball gets to Collins. Kokoris. Jennifer Kokoris wins a corner. And into injury time now. Can UNSW find a way to go into halftime level? It's Moreno who will take the set piece. Two hands raised. Let's see what that means for UNSW. Ball gets delivered, swung in on the 6-yard line. Advantage is played. Bit of a shoulder charge there from Tay. So referee Alana Zick very happy to let advantage run through and play continue. When fouls have been given. Now Hromek unable to get much distance on that goal kick. It's well dealt with by Rod. Tay's layoff didn't have enough power behind it to reach Kirby. UNSW. Time ticks down in this first half. They're trying to find that equaliser. Kulizakis for Plessis. Back to Galich now with Channing. Someone will need to deliver. Christodoulou. Back for Channing. Kokoris cuts inside Urich. Can't beat Harris. And Kokoris has gone to ground. The free kick's been given. Quite a late call. It's on the edge of the box. Kokoris is still on the ground, rolling. Perhaps a knee issue for Kokoris, but she is struggling to get up. Walking with quite a limp now, Jennifer Kokoris, so no doubt she will get that looked at halftime. But Lexi Moreno right on the corner of the box. Uni are very lucky that that foul wasn't any closer to goal, or this would be a penalty. Moreno goes for goal. Hromek, diving save at her near post. And that is halftime here at the Village Green. Your match of the round, the Uni Derby. It's the visitors, Sydney University, with a 1-goal lead heading into the break. I'm Annabelle Bamfield. Stay tuned. All the second half action to come. Second half action about to get underway here at the Village Green. Your NPL New South Wales Women's Match of the Round for round 12. And it's a uni derby. The visitors, Sydney University, up 1-0. Thanks to a goal from Poppy Tay. Couple of changes for UNSW in this second half. On comes Abby Lemon. And also into the action is Sky Casaccia. They replace Lexi Moreno and Jennifer Kokoris. So UNSW, some different approach. Have to find a way back into this one if they are to keep their undefeated record alive. Meanwhile, Sydney Uni, no changes at the break for them. Would no doubt be pleased with their start to the game. But both teams have had plenty of opportunities. We've had, I believe, 4 hits on the woodwork and several other special saves at both ends. So there's a lot of excitement. There's a lot of X factor in this game so far. Plessis over the head of Collins. Sydney Uni have it now. Little chip over the top for Tay to chase. Christodoulou now, she has a yellow card after an early foul in the first half. Inside the opening 10 minutes, she picked up that card. Sutton turns past Christodoulou, going down this sideline. Lemon, the substitute, is there. Just shows the quality of this UNSW side that a quality A-League talent like Abby Lemon is coming off the bench. Ball inside to Plessis. Back for Yamahata. Channing. Collins. Now Casaccia. Puxty. Kirby with the interception and driving forward is the Sydney Uni captain. Ball played down the line. Maddie Caspers. A little bit slow to react, but she makes the tackle on Yamahata, and Caspers driving into the area. The cross was looking for Tay, but she kind of had no pressure. Caspers with a curious decision not to back herself there. And it's quite a quiet Moya Dodd stand here at the Village Green. Quiet on the field too. Lemon cuts inside. Tackles made by Van Dyke. And Juric sends it out over the sideline. They avoid a corner. Foul committed there on Van Dyke. Harris goes long. Headed by Casaccia on the halfway line. Channing with the quick switch. Puxty. Sandbrook sends it forward. It's UNSW who've started the second half with almost all the possession. This UNSW team, happy to play calm. They are chasing the game, just one goal down. It's a strange position for a side that's had a 1-0 win during the week, and last weekend had an 8-3 win over the bottom place Northwest Sydney Spirit. So that game had plenty of goals. This one's still got excitement at both ends, but much lower scoreboard. Gallage looking for Plessis. Kirby was there. Just struggling to find a way forward when they do win it. Sydney Uni. But the pace has dropped right out of this game. It's a much slower, more controlled start to the second half. Plessis being forced back wide by Kirby. Puxty. Gallage. Van Dyke and Gallage very tangled up. Not sure who was at fault there, but both ended up on the ground. A real tangle of legs. Kirby down the line. Puxty is fouled. Kulizakis delivers. Sutton shows her strength. Both Harris and Galich went to ground. Hromek for line in command of the box. Going long is Chelsea Hromek. Yamahata gets the ball first. Caspers after the header. Now for Tay. It's Caspers and Tay going at it with about 6 UNSW defenders. Ball goes out the other side to Sutton, who's made her way downfield. There's numbers arriving for Sydney Uni. Cross comes in. Off Caspers, says the referee, and a goal kick is awarded. Aaron Naylor wants to go long. Rad. Clever turn from Maddie Caspers. Scoots it past Yamahata. Caspers can't get back on the ball. Channing going long. Off the chest of Collins. Galich wide for Lemon. Looking to come quickly now, UNSW. Real change in the intensity of this go forward. Harris is there to slow that progression. And Harris dribbles it out over the sideline. Change coming here for the University of New South Wales. Georgia Plessis is finished for the afternoon. And into the action is Milan Hammond. So UNSW have now made 4 changes. Sydney Uni still have their starting lineup out on the park. Corner here. It's Demi Koulizakis. Set piece taken from the first half. Lexi Moreno was substituted at half time. So what will Demi Koulizakis deliver? It's a good looking ball. It's bouncing around on the 6-yard box. Hromek, a save from close range. Pads it down and then dives on the ball. They just needed a decisive poke, a decisive tap there, UNSW. Couldn't find it. Tay lays it off. Sutton. Back for Sandbrook. Kirby has some space. That's where they go. Amelia Kirby. Forward for Hughes. Inside Van Dyke. She's tackled by Casaccia and UNSW. Are back in possession. Channing and Koulizakis working their way around Isabella Rod. Ball goes down the line for Hristadulu. Harris beats her to the ball. Sydney Uni now with the throw. One back there by Rod. Caspers runs out of room on the left-hand side. Of course, Sydney Uni keen to go on and get all 3 points out of this one, but either way, they've certainly shown that they are a true competitor in this league. They are taking it to the top of the table and will certainly be a factor throughout the rest of the NPL women's season. For them, hopefully it results in a finals appearance. Rod for Tay. Tay has the pace to get around Channing. Channing retreats quickly and Tay tries to line up a shot off balance and from quite a way out. Doesn't work well for her there. Given up cheaply there. Yamahata stands up strong in her defense of Caspers. You can see that Sydney Uni want to go quickly, especially off that counter. They back themselves to go forward. UNSW a bit more patient, a bit more conservative in their build-up. Half an hour left to play in this game. There's plenty of time for lots of things to change. You can see the UNSW men and Sydney United warming up in the corner. This match being played so early today, part of a double header here at the Village Green. NPL men's clash on after this one. Clever touch from Caspers. Little chip over the top. Didn't come off there. Tay slowed right down in her defense. Puxty. Just a bit off balance as she struck the ball. Harris for Tay. Lays it off to Rod. Little ball over the top. Tay is in pursuit. Bowls over Poppy Channing. And it will be a UNSW free kick. Going forward on the right-hand side are UNSW. Now they'll look to the left. They've switched it once more. Still can't find a way through. So even if they lose here, UNSW will stay the ladder leaders. They just won't have that undefeated tag next to their name. They have 4 points clear on Apia, who will play the Western Sydney Wanderers tomorrow. Sutton. It's Sydney ball in UNSW territory. Flicked on. UNSW now. Channing for Puxty. Her pass is off the mark. Poppy Tay gets around Yamahata. Poppy Tay cutting it back. Falls to Rod from distance. Shows her dribbling ability there, Poppy Tay. Able to carve them up. Ends up taking 3 defenders surrounding her for the ball to come free. Yamahata inside for Kasachia. Channing. Yamahata still going. Switches play out to Kulizakis. Down the line, Lemon. Early cross in off the fingertips of Hromek, and it'll be a corner. Couldn't get that ball to stick in her gloves there. UNSW will have a chance from the corner flag. Last corner, they were certainly dangerous. That ball stuck around in the box for a while. Almost tapped in. Kulizakis to deliver. Curling effort. Channing with the header. Gets up for it. Can't put it on target. But UNSW certainly been building this second half. They've come out strong. Hromek struggling to get distance from the goal kick. Sydney Uni defending once more. 20 minutes into this second half. They've absorbed a lot of pressure. Collins, another corner. It's the very light spitting rain, the swirling wind here at the Village Green. It's really not a great day in terms of the weather. Lucky the football is delivering. Koulizakis. Off the crossbar, and Channing into side netting. She's had a couple of chances now. This UNSW team, you can sense they're starting to get a little bit frustrated. They can't make one of these opportunities count. Collins with the header. Back with Sydney Uni. Kirby. Fateh. Heavy touch allows Puxty into the challenge. Tries to scoot past Hughes, but the Sydney Uni player was up to the task. Still with Hughes. Looks for Caspers. Now UNSW just slowing things down, working out the path forward. Ball's played to Yamahata. Hughes with enough pressure. Forces a poor pass, and Sydney Uni back with the ball. Yamahata wanted the foul. Thought she got bowled over after releasing the ball. A Japanese star frustrated with that decision. Down the line from Kirby. Tay looking for the flick on. UNSW throw-in awarded. Channing delivers to Hammond. Another new signing this season with UNSW. Puxty is brought down. Clipped on the back of the ankle by Hughes. Gloomy afternoon. Demi Koulizakis ready to deliver. Goes for goal, into the hands of Fromek. The flag was raised against the UNSW attackers anyway. Rod for Sutton. Good touch from the youngster, Sutton. Still going down this left-hand side. Inside to Caspers. If they can get it to Hughes, she's in acres of space. Sutton went too quickly and was offside. Naylor. Puxty, and it's really starting to come down now, this rain. And when the wind comes in as well, it's pretty sideways here at Kensington. The Village Green suddenly got a whole lot gloomier. Van Dyke, she's surrounded by UNSW defenders. As Koulizakis dribbles it out over the sideline. The surface will become very slick underfoot now. Shots, passes, they'll skid on through. This is the chance now to shoot from range and hope the skidding surface can make it difficult for goalies. They've got wet gloves now. All the front rows here in the Moydon stand are cleared out. They are very much unprotected from the elements. Down the line from Sydney Uni. Just bouncing around in the challenge. The foul's committed by Harris. Offside against UNSW. Into the final 20 minutes now. There's still plenty of time for a goal, but the clock will start to become a mental factor. Harris. You can see there the ball's just skidding on very quickly now. This fresh rain is changing the elements of this game. That ball gets to Puxty quickly. She looks towards Collins. Puxty inside for Sky Kasatia. Kulizakis. Christodoulou is beaten to the ball by Juric. Clever pass for Tay. Tay steaming through. Trips Yamahata on the way through. And there's some differing opinions in the crowd, making their opinions known. But the referee has awarded a free kick for UNSW. Kromek pushing everyone up, only to play it short. Kept in by Juric, trickling along the sideline. Kulizakis. Lemon. This star-studded UNSW lineup need a goal just to level things and maintain their undefeated record to start the year. Cross comes in, beats everybody, comes out the other side, and Hughes gets to the ball. Her pass to Caspers. And the ball girls now have umbrellas on the sidelines. Just goes to show you the quality of this NPL football. It's really not a great day for weather here at Kensington, but the stand is packed. People are very keen to see this match of the round Uni Derby and the NPL men's game to come after. Collins, some quick control. Lemon. Still no changes yet UNSW, they've been coming and coming in this second half, and eventually they find a way to level this game. Inside the final 10 minutes, and the two unis are locked up. Kirby has her ankle chopped at. Keeps the ball going forward in front of Hughes. It's slick underfoot. She will get there. And the throw awarded to UNSW. From right by their own corner flag. Down the line. Sutton with a strong tackle. And Kasachia remains down. It's with Christodoulou. Down the line, Collins. Kasachia still not good in backfield. UNSW coming forward, Collins. Headed away by Urich. Now Rod. Isabella Rod with a little flick pass. It's good to see Sky Kasachia back up and running about. Right, inside for Van Dyke. Both teams now hunting for a winner. You can sense the energy out there. Yamahata. Her pass is blocked by Hughes. Back for Sandbrook. Pressure coming from Kulizakis. Going long is Sandbrook. They've got a throw here. Kirby wants to take it quickly. Gets it to Rod. Another change coming here for the visitors. For Sydney Uni, Maddie Caspers is finished, and into the action is Noor Hijazi. Hughes heads inside, ends up with the feet of Kasachia. Urich. Inside for Van Dyke. Rod. Loses out. Now Collins. She's tackled by Savalius, and Savalius is pushed to ground. Inside the final 5 minutes of regulation. It's been a hotly contested match of the round between the two university sides. Brought down by Hughes. She's running towards trouble, and it doesn't work out well. Now Lemon. Kulizakis going long. Neither team wants to lose it now, but they both are hunting for the winner. Sandbrook Gets there ahead of Kasachia. Tackles made by Hammond. Goal kick to come. Play short to Harris. Harris going long. And it's Juric who's pushed to ground off the ball by Lemon. Sydney Uni get a free kick. Harris slices across that one a little bit. Doesn't get the distance she was after. Support arriving. Puxty. She also slices across the ball. Curves out over the sideline. Clock ticking down. Rod flicks it on. Van Dyke. Hijazi applying pressure. Rod. And UNSW escape with a fancy behind the back little flick pass from Yamahata. Hijazi, the substitute's been brought on, it seems like, just to run all day, chasing these final minutes. And over the roof from Sandbrook. The switch comes here for UNSW. Channing driving forward. Gets the pass towards Kasachia. She won't be quick enough to reel that one in. Just a minute left in the 90. UNSW working their way down that right sideline. Gallage turns away from pressure. Ball pops out to Hughes. It's with Sutton now. And Sutton. Ball's come to Rod. She looks to release quickly. Hughes. Gets past Christodoulou. Sydney Uni with Ellen Hughes. Back to Isabella Rod. Pressure coming from Milan Hammond, and she makes the tackle. Seconds ticking down. Collins. Throw-in coming. UNSW. It's in the hands of Puxty. We are into injury time here at the Village Green. It's Channing with Koulizakis. They've got to find a way onto goal. Free kick is awarded. Koulizakis remains on the ground. A late call there. Could be a very decisive one in this game. The captain, Angelique Christodoulou. Can she deliver something special? And get 3 points back here. Christodoulou off the head of Koulizakis, up and over the goal. That was the prime opportunity there. She had the header. Wasn't on target. Kromek for Kirby. Amelia Kirby. Her pass intercepted by Puxty. Noor Hijazi nearly pinched it on Puxty's blind side. The fullback did enough. Down the line from Christodoulou. Hammond was offside. There can't be much time left in this one. Last ditch effort for both universities. Going long is Harris. Off the head of Christodoulou. Now it's with Lemon. Christodoulou down the line. Kulizakis in pursuit. Harris plays it off of her and wins the throw-in. Casaccia turns and plays back to Channing. Channing goes forward quickly. Sandbrook with the header. Popped out to Hughes. Hughes gets the touch. Yamahata now sends it back. Hammond for Galich. Just too many shots going all around the goal. Not threatening the keeper enough this afternoon, UNSW. Final moments in this match of the round between the two universities. Lemon keeps the ball in. Abby Lemon. Can't beat Urich. Sandbrook. Now Rod turns and plays. Channing keeps it in. Urich with a crunching tackle. Both players end up on the ground after that one. Hughes now for Sutton. And that is full time here at the Village Green. Players immediately on their haunches. It's been a brutal affair between the two universities. A 1-1 draw in the end. Goals from Poppy Tay and Ava Collins, and it ends all square. UNSW keep their undefeated record alive, and Sydney Uni prove they are true contenders in 2026. A very exciting match that I had the pleasure of calling. Make sure you tune in now. The doubleheader continues. UNSW men take on Sydney United in the NPL men's competition. I'm Annabelle Bamfield. Have a great rest of your afternoon and evening.